Yes sir, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Denali, aka Don Squally, back at y'all with another, I guess, install vlog type video. Let me just crack some of these windows, it's a little hot in here. Today, we're doing something, not really anything different or out of the ordinary, but to be honest, I wasn't going to change this part on my car, and if you guys read the title, you guys probably already know what I am talking about, and that is the shift knob here in my G35. Now, the reason I wasn't going to change this shift knob is because I actually really like just the way that this feels. It has the little gear logo on here. As you guys can see, I just painted that with a little bit of red, put some of the girlfriend's red nail polish on there, and then just washed it off the top there. Turned out kind of nice, but I don't know if you guys can see, but the leather around the edge here is starting to crack. You can see a line here, and right over here it's just starting to come up right here. Now, I looked at a lot of different shift knobs online, and I was kind of reluctant to buy stuff online because I wasn't really sure of the size or the weight, diameter. Now, as you guys know, with shift knobs, especially aftermarket, weight is kind of a big thing. Now, fortunately for me, I was scouring the VQ North Facebook page, and I came across a guy locally who was selling aftermarket or custom-made shift knobs, and I came across a guy locally who actually makes custom-made shift knobs. Now, he works for a machine shop in Mississauga. I'm gonna leave the email down in the description, and I'm gonna throw up a picture right now. These are some of the other styles of different shift knobs that he makes, and as you guys can see, I went with pretty much the smallest one. Now, I know a lot of the guys you know, that run the VIP cars like having the big shift knobs that are nice with the big long throws. For me, I want something that is as short as possible, and that is the reason that I ended up going with this knob. So for today's video, I'm just going to show you guys how to install this. So I guess I'll put the camera down and we'll get right into it. Now, to be honest, this is a very simple process. Doesn't take any more than about 5-10 minutes. So first things first, what you want to do is get a credit card or something like that, and just pop off this plastic trim panel here. Now, on the 350Zs, this may be a little bit different, but for me, as you can see, just brings out the ashtray as well as the hazards. Now, for me, I don't really have to do this because my shifter's already a little bit loose, but if yours isn't loose and it's on here very tight, what you want to do is just lift up this panel here. I'm going to unplug this switch back here. Just get the hazard switch so that I can pull this back. And as you can see underneath here, what you want to do, it looks like this rubber boot just slides down here. So what I'd recommend is sliding down the rubber boot here, and then just vice gripping lightly to this metal piece right here, and that's just to stop the shifter from twisting down in the transmission. And once you get your vice grips on there, this thing should twist off relatively easily here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take care of that right now. Dang, there was a lot of threads on there. And once everything pops off, as you can see, this is the shift knob. Now, the actual threads don't start all the way until up here, so really the rest of this down here is just to cover up this shaft. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that in a second. Now, this knob right here weighs about 150 grams. Now, I'm not too sure what the stock knob weighs. Maybe I'll Google that and throw that on the screen right now. They feel almost identical, but what I'm hoping is that when we actually screw this thing on with the threads where they are, I'm hoping this thing kind of sits a little bit lower here on the gear lever. But I'm just going to screw this thing on right now, see what it looks like. Alrighty, so the new lever's on there, screwed on very nice. Now what I'm gonna do is just leave this on here like this for the time being. If this starts unscrewing, what you can do is just get some Loctite, put that on the threads, and then that way when you tighten that on there, it's pretty much gonna stay the way that it where it is. Now, what I've seen a few guys do online is they will take a zip tie and they'll kind of zip tie this piece up here tucked underneath the shifter. But what I think I'm gonna do is just lift this plastic piece here, and as you can see underneath here, there's a little bit of room, so I'm gonna slide this rubber shifter boot all the way up as high as I can down here. And now what I'm gonna do underneath the bottom is use the zip ties. Now, like I said, I did see online some guys were using zip ties to hold it up, but they were going from the top, and that really didn't make any sense to me. So what I'm gonna do is just throw a couple of zip ties on the bottom here to keep this leather boot from slipping down. So I just snugged those up. So as you can see, this leather here and this little plastic ring, which actually holds the leather piece up, is not going to be able to slide down there. So that's going to give us a nice finish. Tuck that leather lip up underneath our gear shifter. So now that I'm confident this isn't going to move anymore, let's tighten these up a little more, I guess. I don't want to have to go back in there. Just snip off the excess. And now we can put this piece back on. Don't forget to reconnect any electrical connections that you had taken apart. And now that everything is on there, as you can see, that's pretty well what it looks like. Now, I'm not too sure by the looks of it if this sat any shorter, but it definitely feels good. Make sure that we can access all of our gears down into reverse. And as you can see right here, there's a little leather lip underneath here, stays nice and tucked up underneath the shifter. And I mean, that feels really good. Now, I noticed a couple of guys with the shifters online. There's like a finishing ring that goes here, and it kind of has a little bit of a beveled edge. I may go that route if I can find something for cheap, or even find something that I can reuse just that has like a nice plastic trim ring. But for the time being, I mean, that looks pretty good, man. I really like the way that it looks. I mean, I did like this style, and I like the leather, and I really like the way that it felt shifting through the gears. However, this leather cracking and stuff like that, like right there especially, every time I'm sitting in traffic fidgeting, I just want to pick it and pick it and pick it. But I mean, I don't want to pick it, but I'm like kind of almost forced to. So I don't know. I think it's a case of out with the old, in with the new. I think it looks pretty good. Let me just jump out of the car real quick and get a little shot of it inside here. Nice and chrome, as you can see. Well, I guess it's polished, not really chrome, but I actually really like the style of it. Now, it's gonna be kind of funny. I know in the wintertime, it's gonna be super, super cold, and in the summertime, it's gonna be super, super hot, but whatever, I guess I'll just have to get the climate control and then just point the vent down on my shifter while the car's warming up, or, you know, cooling down depending on the time of the season. But I mean, that's a nice little addition. And I mean, you know, this is what your hand is touching all the time when you're in the car. So if you can do a little touch like this, very, you know, easy, cheap mod to install, but it makes the car feel like that much better. This is definitely a bonus for me. Now, I'm not too sure if I want to switch the steering wheel. Now, I'm kind of getting a little bit of rubbing here up on the top of the steering wheel here, but to be honest, I don't really want to go aftermarket. Mainly because I like airbags, I like the safety aspect of it, and I mean, this isn't a race car, so I don't really need like a, you know, quick release or anything like that. So what I think I might do is look into some OEM replacements. Maybe if I can get like a 370Z wheel on here, I think that would really look nice and really spruce things up. And like I say, it's you know, your hands are touching these parts of the car all the time, so overall it'll really just help the the feel in general. But if you guys enjoyed this one, don't forget to smash that like button. If you guys want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. Like I said, I'm gonna leave the Gmail for that company, OriginsMachineWorks in Mississauga. So if you want to inquire about any of the shifters that you saw, including this one here, definitely hit them up. And yeah, man, you can get yourself one of these dope little shifters, man. So with that being said, I think we're probably gonna put an end to this one. Something pretty straightforward and simple this time around. So as always, I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and we're gonna catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace.